Hello everybody, this is Dr. Reyes-Fournier. Welcome to Unit 9 of Foundations of Professional Psychology. This week, you will be creating a career plan for yourself. Picking your chosen focus of your program, whether it's General Psych, Addiction, ABA, or IO, you are going to create a career plan. And this is going to be true for your discussion and for your paper due by Tuesday midnight. Okay, so let's go over the paper real quick before we start off on everything else, and everything else will make sense. For your paper, remember to get the rubric so that you know exactly what you're looking at. So part 1, you are going to put degree plan. In this, you will state what your specialization track is, and even if you're not sure what it's going to be, you need to pick one, obviously, for the purposes of this paper. Then, as you pick your program, you're also going to talk about your degree plan. For some of you, you're going to have a practicum, and for others of you, you're going to choose not to have a practicum. For example, the addictions people, they have to state that they're on a practicum track. A practicum doesn't necessarily mean that this is the job that you're going to have. You're going to find a job or an organization in your area that does ABA or IO or addictions, depending if you're on a practicum track, and you are going to volunteer for them. Having a set of hours, I'm not sure what the hours are for the other programs, but it's anywhere from 100 to 250 hours, which can be accrued over a 2-month to 4-month period. I know that in the addiction program, there's 2 practicums, therefore that's 2 8-week periods that you would be working. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for the other programs as well. If you want to do a practicum, that's great. For addictions, you have to do a practicum. There is no deciding not to do a practicum. Then from there, you are also going to discuss whether or not you are going to do a thesis or you're going to do, excuse me, comps. Okay, so once you choose whether or not you're doing the practicum, you're going to decide, like I said, between the thesis and the comprehensive exam track. What does that mean? Comprehensive exam is you're given questions and you end up writing out the answers, and it'll look very similar to a paper. And each question will have its own paper attached to it, and it's quite extensive. And that's usually done within like a couple of weeks. Or you do the thesis track, where you actually come up with a research question, hypothesis, and you actually run a study. Now, depending on what you like, one is going to be better than the other. Obviously, for programs like IO, I would recommend the thesis track because you are going to be spending more time with research than the other groups. But that's all up to you, what you decide to do. Once you've got that done, you are going to go to the part 2, which is the licensing and credentialing plan. The licensing and credentialing plan is very, attached to what you are going to be studying. So for example, the addiction folks, I am going to provide to you the website for NADAC.org. This program, the addiction program here at Purdue Global, is certified by NADAC, which is pretty cool because we're one of the only online addiction program that is certified by NADAC. And here you will look at your different certifications. Most of these certifications rely on you getting a state certification. So I take you to the ATTC website, where you will go to this handy dandy map of the United States, pick your state. Here's Florida. And you will click on the Florida Certification Board because they are the ones that certify addiction professionals. You pick on the different credentialings that you can get, or credentials or certifications you can get, like a CSC, CAP, and you follow the directions. They're going to ask you for a bunch of hours of supervised counseling and your education. Your education should be fine and dandy because you have a master's degree from a program that's certified by NADAC. Once you get that, you go back to NADAC, and then you can also get a NADAC certification. I also highly recommend that you get a membership to NADAC once you're done. Why do I do that? Because to keep your credential, you need to do a certain amount of hours of continuing education a year, and NADAC provides the best education, like I've mentioned before, and they're all here. And once you become a member, those webinars are free to you, and getting the credential, the hours from them is free to you because you're paying for that with your yearly membership. So a great value that I highly recommend. Okay, next one is ABA. Here's the ABA International, but the one that you really need is this one. And this one gives you all the important information in terms of getting your certification. Most of you in ABA already know what you're doing there. So I'm pretty clear that you guys are fine. For IO, there is no credentialing at this time. So what you're going to be doing mostly is a career plan. What does it mean? You're going to, what kind of work do you want to do? Do you want to get into which kind of area and things like that? Everybody's going to be doing a career plan. For those of you in IO, you are basically going to discuss how you guys don't have any kind of credentialing or licensing, and then you're going to get into your career and discuss how you're going to be doing it 5 years, 10 years out, things like that. All right, I think that is everything for the week. Please get your discussions in as soon as possible. Any questions with your papers, get them in as soon as possible. The earlier that you get the paper to me, the faster I can get it back to you. Please remember that Thanksgiving is next week, so it becomes a time crunch in terms of the sooner you get them in, the faster I can get them back to you. This is the last recording I'm going to do for this week. I will see you guys tonight at our last seminar for the class, and have a wonderful week. Good night.